Right, welcome, good morning. I'm Fiifi-Manfred, senior university. We are back again this morning with your consistent and best sports analysis on YouTube. It doesn't get any better. We give you the best in terms of analysis on Fiifi-Manfred YouTube. So once subscribe to channel on show. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Send about anytime their content about drop you are first to have it here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Now, to be very honest with you, there is a lot of conversation also in and around the world of football, especially from all of the clubs, from transfers, from the games, of course, when the games are because never be brave or maybe remember for every club that you play for, that you support, you be the income, of course, subscribe. Turn on notification, and also to everybody that have been sharing the link. I want to say a very, very big thank you to you. And also, let me not forget, and then also there's still Betway codes or Honoma share or the description of the video. Betway codes in the description of the video. So just go into the description of this video and I say any Fiifi-Manfred social media handle. Go and take those codes and then stick the odds on them. Then make sure so we try. I'm sure that today there's going to be a good one. Yesterday we're a little bit unlucky with Man City results, not unlucky with Chelsea results, not unlucky with Dortmund. How could Dortmund go away and go and lose 3-2? The Dortmund team now have been high flying, scoring consistently in almost every game that they've been playing. How possible was that for Dortmund to go away and go and get such a result that we didn't expect them to get at all? We expected Dortmund to have a comfortable game. In fact, there were times where Dortmund matched him on double chance, but still, it wasn't a game that Dortmund went on to go and win. And sad one. And normally, so 4-2 away. Away our German Bundesliga match Holstein Kiel. The team that is struggling in the German Bundesliga. Dortmund went away and then couldn't get the win. But then sometimes that's the conversations that come around football, essentially. And then during the German Bundesliga, Holstein Kiel won the red card, but they won by 4-2. Bayern for Leverkusen, Mainz 4 by 0-0. Eintracht Frankfurt by 4-1. Wolfsburg, Mönchengladbach by 5-1. A shocking result is our Dortmund match that we didn't expect. Said Dortmund were going to lose to Holstein Kiel. In terms of data, matches on my boy in the past and what have you, Dortmund have always been better than Holstein Kiel. But then again, and that's exactly what happened. So that's moved Dortmund to the 25 points, 9th position as it stands now for on the league log. Holstein Kiel 11 points in the relegation zone of German football over there in that conversation. Yesterday, some of the games that went on obviously was that big one between Jeffrey Manchester City playing against Brentford. See, I don't think so in the last 7 years that Pep has been the English Premier League, it has been this difficult for him. I don't think so. And why am I saying this? See, in the past, Man City show 2 goals it's done deal. There is no way you come back from City going ahead by 2 goals to equalizing 2-2. I know Brentford are one of the most difficult teams to play against the English Premier League at their home, at the GTEC Stadium. Very, very stubborn. Heading results against them. In fact, the likes of Yohan Wissa, Brian Mbeumo, if you look at the time they scored those goals, it was important for them, especially for Yohan Wissa. And he made history at Brentford. And of course, Christian Norgard also popping up with a goal. It was an important one for Fiifi-Manfred and Dortmund, Fiifi-Manfred and Brentford. But really, you look at the whole analysis of the game, and from the point of view of Manchester City, and you ask yourself, say, what did Pep after the game? Or say they didn't defend their crosses well. And before, Manchester City used to defend very well with the ball, but this time struggling with their out of possession shape and how to defend with the ball is something very, very huge. See, Nottingham Forest deserve a lot of credit for this season and the kind of football marble. Now, why do I say this? When you look at Nottingham Forest this season, now last season they were in a relegation battle. Then they brought on Nuno Espirito Santo to come in and be the manager. Now, Nuno's job essentially was to come in and then galvanize the ship with owner, the kind of players that he bought. And they had done a lot of investment a lot of players, Ola Aina, Ibrahima Sangari, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Anthony Elanga, what's his name, Chris Wu. They brought on Taiwo Awonyini, Morello, Morgan Yates, Morgan Gibbs-White, all of these guys. Matt Sells, all of these guys that were on the team. Very, very important players, top quality players from team your friend in Nottingham Forest. Now, when they came into this season in the English Premier League, it was really about Nuno Espirito Santo should be able to stabilize the ship. Now, on calming down the issue with Nottingham Forest, now, Senegal, they will not go into any relegation straps because it took the last few games of last season for them to stay in the league. But this season, Omo punches seriously above the weight. And to be very fair and honest, Omo the quality to get a job done. And they totally dominate Liverpool, especially in the first half when they went up by a goal. Controlling the game to a very large extent, staying in it, managing the game so well, and then making sure that at the end of the day, they'll get something out of the game. But again, Liverpool just have those personalities and then players that come off the bench that change the game. And for me, I've said it several times, a lot of Liverpool fans, will always allude to the fact that the reason why they're probably more comfortable with Arne Slot this season than even a Jurgen Klopp is the fact that the in-game management of Arne Slot, especially in difficult games like this, is a little bit of a notch or two higher than what Klopp used to do. And people always say even when Klopp was leading 2-0 and I said 1-0, it could be bottled. So I said Klopp 1-0. Yes, he can come back, but then it was always difficult. Yes, Liverpool in the last 7 games have had 4 draws in there. Not a good result for somebody that's trying to win the league. But really, still gap in over Arsenal are not being able to close in the gap and no more in the London, the North London derby with Tottenham Hotspur. When you look at teams and Nottingham Forest and no boy, it still ended in a draw. Man City draw points and I'm seeing for Chelsea they draw points again. So still, it looks as if the Liverpool for now right in it. And talking about that in-game management of Arne Slot and in the players. Now look at the job of Diogo Jota. Diogo essentially came from the bench, stepping up, came into the game, and I've said it several times. For a player as diminutive as Diogo Jota, player who on your player BRC or your bulky or your combative, but then scores a lot of headers, and he just slots in between 2 centre backs, Morello, and then headed home the equalizer from a corner kick from Liverpool, and that tells you how good that team is, and they have been very, very good. And now, then to the big one with Enzo Maresca, 5 games, Chelsea ain't winning a single game of them. 5 games English Premier League game. See, no matter how you look at it, there are real problems at Chelsea for them to solve right now. See, I know for a lot of the Chelsea fans, you expected these times will come. When I say these times, I know that times where Chelsea are going to drop points and all of that. A lot of people will also tell you, Enzo Maresca has a history of that. Even at Leicester City last season in the Championship, he had about a 15 points gap. And I feel they started to stay closely because we're dropping points in that regard around this time. And usually, it's a time where his teams begin to drop points in there for him. But it is worrying. Now, they're worrying because there are clear-cut signs of worry over team and what Chelsea wanted to do. For me, so what's your starting lineup at Chelsea the Korea match? It was decent. A game that should have, starting lineup that could win the game easily, especially in the first half. Uti Enzo Maresca after the match? I'll say that was probably the best first half at Chelsea about this season. One of the best performances of the half this season for Chelsea. And I totally agree with him. Said, Moses Caicedo will right back. Now we're vetting next to Romeo Lavia. The idea is to have 2 very physical players because Obo against Cook, Brooks, any Abrante friend of Brian Christie, very stubborn players over Fiifi-Manfred, very aggressive. Now you have Romeo Lavia only more press resistant to be receiving ball in the half 10. No player coming in, and then you have Moses Caicedo when he comes inverted. It helps him in terms of shielding him. Then you have Enzo Fernandez in the left half space, Kopama in the right half space. It helps the team. The structure was good. And I can say several times the Chelsea structure this season or the but generally it's a 3-5-2. No, sometimes there are tweaks depending on game. And I say opponent on any question. Sometimes we tweaking your man or try and see if really something can come out of it. But essentially it's about a 3-2-5 shape now. Chelsea Kita in the middle of the park when they are building up the game, when they are trying to possess the game and sustain pressure, and that's what they do. So essentially that was good. Now when we for Obi to say Joshua Kofi a champion, At right centre back, you can tell, say, or you're calm or you're composed physically is up there. Now, still, the only thing that I probably still think Joshua Kofi Champo can add to his game, the ball carrying now West Fofana and the team, as in, say, who says, so at right centre back, Amaka, say, the CCB is supposed to pass to break the lines. Now, the right centre back is supposed to carry the ball carrying, so to me, and the ball and then run at people, so that it pushes the opponents back. Now, that's still something. Maybe Joshua Kofi Champo confidence level then drew on him. Maybe he's a little bit jittery when he wants to go into battles with strikers. With Antoine Semenyo, very physical. Jean-Philippe Mateta, also very, very physical in there. Sometimes a little bit, skeptical about his decision making and stuff like that. But clean pass, dominance in the air, good in terms of tight space dribbling. This and he's good. Reading of the game is also top. Just the ball carrying in and out in Sam matching over. Of course, Levi Cole, we all know how good he was. And on the left hand side, Marco Correa was important. In fact, in the lead up to Sam Cole Palmer goal, now we give him a lot of credit for him. It was Marco Correa that was able to win the ball in that left hand channel and then find Enzo Fernandez who played for it. For me, throughout the game, Chelsea's best player was Abrante Enzo Fernandez. And I say this in a sense that he largely controlled the game. And one of Chelsea's best tempo controllers. In Chelsea's three midfielders, there are two tempo controllers. Enzo Fernandez and Romeo Lavia. These are the two tempo controllers. Moise Caicedo really is not a tempo controller. And when you look at Enzo Fernandez, who essentially control the tempo, calm down the game, make sure so we control match. Now, he did it in the first half, and that's how he found a branch for Nicolas Jackson. See, yesterday I said this and I'll say it again. Nicolas Jackson is an embodiment of everything Chelsea. Now, so Obika said, Nicolas Jackson is so important to Chelsea. Say, if starting lineup, go now Chelsea share, was a classic example. Now, why do I say that? Enzo Fernandez, edge ball on the man Nicolas Jackson pay. The ball was given to him in a very tight space. Now, Christie, Cooks, I think Brooks came around him and surrounded him to try and win the ball off him in a matter of seconds. But Jackson was an upper body strength, hold-up player with me, edgy ball in the free tight space, a carry ball in the corner. He was able to do that in that tight space. He did it. Now, once he carried the ball forward, of course, slotting in a branch here, a friend of Cole Palmer. So that's the importance of Nicolas Jackson right there. Importance of Nicolas Jackson. You just can't do away with him. It's something that in Kuku ain't him from my team, It's something that only a few strikers can give you this day and age. Up top, only a few strikers. Yes, we see me moving media amount. Don Donan moving the amount. Samuel Maradion moving media amount. And it's and these are things that specific strikers they media amount or giving him these days. Someone like Nkuku, that's not his stock in trade. Until you can't even judge him such and so amount and money. And yes, and Nkuku a Juma as a center forward, right? When you look at that conversation, you look at that job of Nicolas Jackson in that area, and then slotting in Cole Palmer and getting that goal. Now, brilliant from Cole Palmer. First of all, dummy as if saw the ball in air right, and on the ball in the left hand side to beat goalkeeper and you could tell Chelsea were up. Now, right after that, that is where the conversation about why Nicolas Jackson is problematic to Chelsea. In fact, in the last 4-5 games at Chelsea, Nicolas Jackson generated XG of 20 plus XG. That is the quality chancer. Jackson a Christian man one as a team a Christian man. Still, he has failed to score a single goal. Now, Nicolas Jackson is in a bad patch, affecting the confidence. And in the first half, everybody will tell you it should have been 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 for Chelsea. But it didn't happen. Why? Because Nicolas Jackson or fluffy chance for me. Unacceptable for you not to finish those chances. Those are chances that have to be finished. But see, like I say, it encompasses what Jackson really embodies our Chelsea team. Obetimi can achieve Musa or don't fukumfo. Do baby Obeboa team no at the born by creative chance this and manema after the chance to be turned in so botuma now for the chance ababaye problem ababaye assembly a war kakra ababaye watchibiding and all of these things are there when you analyze it a man get a little bit worried. And for me, that's like I just win a game in the first half. Again, when you move away from that conversation, then you talk about also two major problems that Chelsea won. And he said, almost every team Biana X succeed I say oh that teams will beat me at the league, beat me I say no. And remember a clinical example, which is Arsenal. Arsenal were consistent goal scoring wingers. Gabriel Martinelli, Leandro Trossard, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Jesus when he plays out from the wing, before Kai Havertz the striker. Consistent goal scoring wingers on Momabi. City those days, Riyad Mahrez will give you goals on the wing. And then Mohamed Salah will give you goals on the wing. In fact, he honored Liverpool for major source of goal this season. Diogo Jota will give you goals on the wing. Cody Gakpo will give you goals on the wing. Luis Diaz will goals on the wing. But Chelsea don't seem to have the goal-scoring winger that is so important in the modern game to take pressure off your striker. And like I said, Liverpool doesn't get consistent goals from Darwin Nunez, but then there are goals from out wide, and Chelsea needs to. So now Nicolas Jackson is struggling, and it's only Cole Palmer and Eshe goal. Noni Madueke is not getting the goal. Jadon Sancho in goals. Pedro Neto in goals. Now these are good players, very very good players. Don't take anything. Don't get me wrong. Only ball, they contribute to or they create chances. In fact, they are more of creative wingers. They are chance creating wingers. Noni Madueke is the closest to a goal scoring winger. Jadon Sancho, the pure creative winger. But I see goals and then map. And in other teams, they get a goals from these areas, and that is the difference between what Chelsea are trying to do and then the difference between the other teams around them when almost strikers struggle. And that's something that Chelsea would have to work on creative. Maybe that is where the conversation of Matthias Tel and even Kuku go and then Metisa Pennies are having reach out to Bayern for one say Chelsea somebody 50-60 million corner, they will find a way to make sure the deal is done. So Bayern Kuku be call away to go and play our German Bundesliga and for Bayern. And the thing is that Matthias Tel doesn't want to leave Bayern. He doesn't want to leave Bayern. Chelsea would have to convince him before so be free Bayern about Chelsea. If Chelsea can go on and do a good convincing and then bring him to come and play at Chelsea there, then fine, Tel will come to Chelsea and then gets the job done in terms of getting goals from out of him, because a very very good goal scoring winger, and Chelsea need essentially a goal scoring winger and then a centre back. The issues of Joshua Champon in terms of ball carrying, may mean that Chelsea beats me a proper right centre back will beat me about team name straight away and then get it running and start playing the games there. Then they should be able to do that, because Chelsea would need that cover or right centre back, or you can't just depend on the calmness of Tosin Adrabio and also the inexperience of Abrante and Joshua Champon. Although these are good, but in terms of next level and seeing off games now, you need more than just that. Again, time Enzo Fernandez, Enzo Maresca, Abrante Romeo Lavia film. People saw the importance of Lavia, tempo controller extraordinaire by game. Because of the injury, Chelsea would have to manage him also game number. I mean, that's essentially what's going on the part of FC Barcelona. And then what I'm hearing is that Enranajo Deco had a serious meeting with Abrantia, your friend Ronald Araujo, and the conversation was really simple. Barca are trying to convince Abrantia friend Ronald Araujo to stay on there to the end of the season. Now, we all know, say Juventus want to have come to Barcelona and they've asked of him, Omo pe Abrantia, your friend Ronald Araujo. They want to get Ronald Araujo and take him to Turin to go and play our Italian Serie A. Now, the money has not been an issue because Juventus are willing to pay the 50-60 million asking price of Barcelona. The thing is that Ronald Araujo contract extension offered at the table, so on signing contract extension. In fact, he has been there before his injury. He decided to stay away from it because wanted to see what it's going to be after injury before he will go on and then go and sign the contract extension on an Araujo and Araujo and Abrantia friend Deco Etna Sedin come, especially because Abrantia friend Inigo Martinez and then there was the need for Barca to keep him as an experienced centre back on the team. Senebea he's going to be in there and then see if they can talk about whether he's staying or not. And now what we are hearing from Mundo and Sports and most of the guys in Spain, and they said the signs look like they are green and positive ones from Abrantia and Ronald Araujo. Now what we are hearing, and they said these players, Abrantia and Ronald Araujo, seem to be convinced by Deco and his sporting directors. Said he may want to stay on at Barcelona and then fight for his place over there. I mean, in terms of Miamana El Coso or Jormafta Barca, Eshe Madrid, Eji, the Supercopa de España over the weekend. Inaki Peña most likely back into the starting lineup for the Real Betis game. Barca at Nefi against Real Betis, and then we're expecting a similar lineup of Araujo, Kubasi, Kunde, Balde. Of course, in front of Casado, Pedri, Dani Olmo probably on top. Then, of course, Gavi will be rested because there was a lot of physical work that he did. Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, and Robert Lewandowski. If say, sir, Betis match is a tough game. Manuel Pellegrini and the last few matches have been very, very stubborn. Anytime Barca play against them, especially in the first half of the season, it was not an easy game at all. And it's a game that Barca would want to be very, very careful. Like I said, we a team now pressing on elite spaces, their Barca will exploit you with their superiority, their what's the name, qualitative superiority of the players from wide areas will get a job done. And everything seems to take between Lamine Yamal. So once he's getting a good game, you're expecting the Barca will go on and dominate some stuff on him. And that's exactly what's going to go on. I think the Barca 4 should be able to get that result against team, my friend, Real Betis or Spanish La Liga later in the day in front of Sports Uti Papa, friend, Juan Laporta. I see they tried to take us down. North Hand, Intado, Lequidor, talking about how not almost already storm players that the almost when they are there, it didn't go through over there. Barca's 4 pillars becoming Barcelona's president, increased revenue, reducing the wage bill without losing competitiveness, protecting the club's number-owned model, of course, members-owned model, ensuring that the recovery did not burden members financially. And that's exactly what Juan Laporta here. I mean, we'll give him a lot of stake. A lot of stake for the issues of Barcelona in recent years, but I think that he has done a good job over there as president of FC Barcelona. And if you listen, he spoke about Ronald Araujo. Also, we believe that everyone is very useful to Barcelona, and we want Ronald Araujo to continue. He's talking to Deco, and we'll find a solution. We appreciate him on a professional and personal level. There is more room to find solution for the young man that's called Ronald Araujo, and in terms of registration over there, and how things were going to go on for team my friend FC Barcelona. They did such a good job. Laporta got a little bit angry also interviewing at the Copa journalist Helena Condes during a press conference. Helena, like I said, you have referred to opposition groups as poor. Laporta, no, I said poor Barca. If the club manages to fall in the hands of some people who are not in the club side, I'm talking about the fact that one cast opposition groups now are poor, but then essentially saying poor Barca in terms of how things will go for his club FC Barcelona and the stuff that's going on in there for Barcelona and how they want to play their games and all of those things. Now, these are the conversations that we are going to have in that regard. And away from the Barcelona game that's being played, there's also an Arsenal in the North London derby against Tottenham Hotspur. Really, possibly a tough game for Arsenal. Also for Tottenham Hotspur. Game at any easy crowd for Tottenham Hotspur. Any Arsenal match, something that's an enemy. I think that will bring a lot of excitement outside match. And of course, and you may after all of those games, will bring you the post-match analysis that will have on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So until then, do take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe.